You go undrafted. They say, well, if you want an opportunity to play in the NFL, you're going to have to switch positions. You switch positions, you go undrafted. Why did you settle? Because obviously when you're undrafted, you get to choose. I mean, Pittsburgh probably offer you maybe another team. What made you decide to go to the Steelers besides they were coming off a Super Bowl?
I had a chance. I really did. Bill Polin was the general manager in Montreal. Marv Levy was the coach. They had my rights, and they said, you can come to Canada, play quarterback, guaranteed money. We're going to take care of you. This is the league that will showcase your talent. I got a call from the Steelers, and they said, we already have Terry Bradshaw. We have other quarterbacks, but you come here. Coach Noel likes smart players. He'll find a spot for you. And I thought, I want to win, and I want to play with the best, so I can go to Pittsburgh. Now, it was foolish because the wide receivers, Lynn Swann and John Stallworth, were backup receivers at that point. They had 11 guys on defense that were in the Pro Bowl. They had an all Pro Bowl secondary. Donnie Shell was a backup safety. So people, how are you going to make the team? You're going to switch positions. That's all right, but they don't need you. And I said, you know what? I don't care. I want to play with the best. And I think that was just the Lord taking care of me. I ended up going there. It was unbelievable. Guys holding out. Guys got hurt. About 50 things had to happen for me to make the team. But I made it, switching over to defense, and I began to learn the defensive side of the ball. And so 3 years later, I'm a coach with the Steelers.
Coach, you played with the Steelers, and you mentioned that might have been the most talented team in NFL history. When you look at it, they got 2 wide receivers that's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The running back, the quarterback, the center. You got Mel Blount, Jack Ham, Jack Lambert, Joe Green. L.C. Greenwood could easily be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Donnie Shell, who I know you're very close with, just made the Pro Football Hall of Fame. You're talking about 9, 10 guys in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Your head coach and your owner is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Unbelievable team. And it started, you mentioned the owner, Art Rooney Sr. That's where it started. He and his son, Dan Rooney, put together an organization. This is how we're going to be. We're going to be first class. We're going to be family atmosphere, and we're going to find good players. 1969, they hired Chuck Noll, but in 1969, they also did something that was kind of unheard of at the time. There was a sports writer for the black newspaper, the Pittsburgh Courier, that they hired, Bill Nunn. They hired him as a scout. And so all of a sudden, he's going to Alabama A&M. And he's going to Florida A&M, and he's going to Southern and Savannah State.
Maryland Eastern Shore, Bethune, yes.
Yep. And so all of a sudden, we've got these guys, Frank Lewis and Glenn Edwards and Mel Blount and Donnie Shell and John Stallworth that people weren't looking at the time. So now you get a great coach, and you supply this extra injection of talent. And Coach Noll put it together, and it was a great atmosphere. It really was. And I learned a lot about being a man. I learned about football, and I learned about how to really embrace the city. And that's what Mr. Rooney said. When you came there, hey, you're a Pittsburgh Steeler, but it's not just on the football field. You're a Pittsburgher all the way, and you got to embrace the city. And I learned so much in that organization.
Coach, are you surprised you got traded because you led the team in interceptions? I mean, 6 interceptions most times will get you to the Pro Bowl.
I was shocked. Yeah, really. We were coming off a Super Bowl. I led the team in interceptions. We had a lot of chemistry, but we just had so many good players then. And we drafted a couple of corners, and Coach Noll just felt like, I can use some of these corners and we'll be better off. So it was one of those things. But again, I always looked at it like, I think it was the Lord kind of taking me out of my comfort zone, put me in a place where I could learn a little bit more, because eventually I was going to be a coach. I was never going to be a great player, but going to that San Francisco situation and learning how Eddie DeBartolo built a winning organization and Bill Walsh winning situation, it really helped me down the road.
Coach, you beat, I mean, there was something about the matchup between the Steelers and the Cowboys. And it might have been a couple of years earlier where they said it was the greatest collection of talent. If I'm not mistaken, it was about 16 or 17 Hall of Famers on the field at a given time. And there haven't been that many before or since. What was it like to be on the field and you're playing the Cowboys with that star study? You got Roger Staubach, you got Tony Dorsett, you got all those, Tony Hill, Drew Pearson. They're loaded on offense and defense as well as you guys are.
Yeah. No, it was one of those just unbelievable situations where you kind of know it's going to come down to that, and we're going to play these guys, and neither side was intimidated. Right. And you knew they were going to be great games, and we enjoyed playing against them. They enjoyed playing against us. And yeah, you're right. You're out there, and it's Mel Blount covering Drew Pearson, and it's Randy White going against John Kolb, and it's
Mike Webster.
One after another, and Tony Dorsett running inside against Jack Lambert. And it was just, when I wasn't in the game, I was just right on the sideline, just watching what is happening out there. And it was fascinating, but it was two teams that really believed in themselves and believed in their style of play, and it was great players all over the field.
You know what to do. Hit the subscribe button to become an official member of Club Shay Shay, where we always do something for two something.